All right. So we'll start with the timing. Number 1. So, 1.
I'm sure.
You shy now?
I'm sure.
Hello, Internet. Okay, so we'll start because maybe if you're watching this, you haven't watched any of our other vlogs and this is your first time. This is Grace. I'm Giuseppe. Our channel is Escaping from Paradise. We are moving from the United States to the Philippines, but this vlog is going to be a little bit different of a format. It's not going to be our normal talking about escaping to paradise.
It's like a sit-down show.
Yeah, a little bit more of a sit-down vlog. And we'll talk about why we're doing a different vlog format this time in a minute. But this is going to be a different format. We're not going to be eating food or talking about escaping to paradise. But we might be talking about some other people who are trying to escape to paradise.
Yeah.
Which is
a lot of people.
A lot of people, and kind of part of this show. So first off, I want to say there will be no spoilers for this part of the vlog, but there will be a time where we will be giving spoilers, and we'll mention that loudly before we give any spoilers, I promise, unless she forgets.
I have to edit it.
You have to edit out the spoiler.
Yes.
Okay, so this vlog is a video review from us to you of a little TV show called Severance, which we just finished watching.
It's a good show. I love it.
She liked it.
I had at the last episode, my hands or feet were sweating. That's how good it was. It was so thrilling.
It was very thrilling. So we don't usually sit around and binge watch shows anymore. We've been very busy getting everything ready for our move to the Philippines, but I wasn't feeling so good the past few days. We had gone somewhere to eat, and I think I got a bad meal or something. I had a little bit of a stomach bug.
He ate too much rice.
So we were laying around, we were sitting around, we needed something entertaining to do while I'm groaning through stomach pains. And a friend of mine from Canada had recommended this show, Severance, to us as something to watch. So we gave it a try. Where can you watch this show?
We can watch it at AppleTV Plus, or you can torrent it.
Oh!
No, you don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do
That's
that.
illegal.
But you can
That's
get it on
bad.
Apple TV Plus, and if you just bought an iPhone,
Oh yeah, or an iPhone.
you get 3 months free of Apple TV Plus.
Plus, if you sign in on the TV
On Roku,
you
also get 3 months free.
So that's a total of 6 months.
Free.
So that's what we got, 6 months free.
So we thought we'll watch it on Apple TV, and it's going to be a banger. So that's what we watched for two days straight, basically, for about a day and a half.
Yeah.
All the episodes. We watched Severance, and it was pretty good. So let's first talk about what were our expectations. What did you expect going into this? Because I don't think I had told you very much.
No. I didn't expect anything because you were just watching it, and I wasn't interested in it at first, but the more episodes he watched, the more interested I was in. So I was like, this is actually a good show, and it didn't fail me. So I'm glad I watched along with him.
Yeah.
Yes.
My expectations going in, my buddy had told me that it was a little bit mind-bending. You know, it's kind of like a puzzle. So it was going to be an intriguing show to watch, which I really enjoy. Shows that I have to figure out. You know,
Yeah,
where
it was.
Yeah, the plot is easy to understand as it goes along, but there's so much mystery that it's not spoon-fed to you. which was nice.
Yeah.
You kind of have to figure things out as you go along. So, what did you love about the show, without spoilers?
I love the plot twist, actually. I just love how they wrote it. Like, it makes you think what's gonna happen in the next episode. It makes your brain, it's like a puzzle, and I love puzzle solving, so I just love it. That's how I describe it.
What about the cast? Did you love the cast?
Yeah, I love the cast. They have one cast who I call, who they get when they can't afford the other cast that looks like him. I'm not gonna mention it because we don't want to get banned.
I don't think we'll get banned. So when they can't afford Tom Cruise,
Yes.
they hire Adam Scott.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's for me because they look the same. And every time I see Tom Scott in a movie, or what's his name?
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott. When I see Adam Scott in a movie, I think of Tom Cruise.
There you go.
There you go.
Tom Cruise is the more handsome version of Adam Scott.
When they can afford him, they get Adam Scott.
And he's less funny. Tom Cruise, I mean.
Yeah.
Adam Scott is very funny.
Yeah.
The cast is actually a banger. It stars Adam Scott, which you might know him from Parks and Recreation. Britt Lauer, which I hadn't seen her before. That was the redhead. I hadn't seen her.
I thought she was familiar.
Apparently she was in a film that she's famous for called Man Seeking Woman, but I've never seen that film.
She looks like the girl from Vivarium.
Oh, yeah, she kind of does.
But brunette.
I think that's Imogen Poots.
Oh, yeah. See, when they can get Imogen Poots, they get this
They get
girl.
Britt Lauer.
Yes.
Okay. It also had Patricia Arquette, which I had last seen Patricia Arquette in a film called Boyhood. And she plays a totally different character.
I haven't seen Boyhood.
In this one, she's kind of like an in-charge character, so it's a totally different vibe. And I thought she was actually a great pick, a great cast. It also has the Asian girl, whose name I'm gonna mispronounce, but it looks to me, I mean, with my German, Dicken Lackman is her real name. And she was in a bunch of like Australian soap operas, based on what I researched. I hadn't seen her before.
I haven't seen her before too.
One of my favorite cast members was John Turturro.
John Turturro.
Who I know from my favorite film, The Big Lebowski. He played the Jesus.
Don't mess with the Jesus.
Do not mess with the Jesus. But he's in a bunch of films, and I really enjoy his stuff. But also they had Zach Cherry, Tremel Tillman, Christopher Walken. They had a ton of famous people in this film. I think that's kind of what Apple TV is trying to do.
Yeah.
With their stuff. They're trying to get very big names involved, especially if they're giving away so many months of it for free to compete with all these other services.
Yeah, they have big names.
They have big names involved. You might hear our son. He's off camera just below us so we can keep an eye on our infant. But there will be a second season.
Yes.
That was good to know.
Oh, I'm so excited for the second season. The ending of the first season.
They stuck the landing.
Oh, yummy.
It kept you wanting more. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
One thing I thought was interesting about this film, it was filmed not on the West Coast in California, and it wasn't filmed down south in Georgia, which is very typical these days. It's either Georgia, Louisiana, or California, I've noticed. But this was actually filmed up in New York and New Jersey. A bunch of the scenes were filmed at Bell Laboratories. During quarantine. My father used to work for Bell. So.
There you go.
In a weird way, there's a connection there. It was directed by Ben Stiller. And his production company, I understand, had a lot to do with bringing this film to life. I don't think they wrote the original film. But I think they took it and brought it to life with the original writer. So, what I loved about the film was the cast, like you said. I also loved that it kept me guessing. I liked that it wasn't contrived. There was there's a love plot line, without going too spoiler into it. There's one plot line that involves some characters with an unusual love story, and I thought it wasn't contrived at all. It really fit well without making me, oh, brother, you know? It wasn't predictable.
It wasn't too much.
It wasn't heavy-handed. It was just right, you know?
Yummy.
It was just right, and you know, yummy's a good word for it. So, that's what we loved about the show. That's our spoiler-free side of this. But before we get into spoilers, I want to know, out of how many coconuts, maybe you could put some coconuts down here.
Yeah.
How many coconuts, 1 to 5 coconuts, Grace, how many coconuts would you rate the show? Whole numbers only.
Yeah.
Whole numbers only. Season 1.
What? There's a dragonfly on our son. This first season, I'm gonna rate it 5 coconuts out of 5 coconuts.
5 out of 5 coconuts. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I would give it a strong 5 out of 5 Italian sausages.
I thought it's about coconuts.
Well, you're the island girl, so it's coconuts for you. It's Italian sausage for me. Okay.
5 out of 5.
We liked it, basically. We thought it was great. So, this is the part where we insert like an alarm and the screen flashes red and blam, blam, blam. You know, spoilers after this. Spoilers, if you're listening. Spoilers. Do not go beyond this moment unless you want to hear stuff that's spoilers. Okay? This is your last chance. 5, 4, 3, 2, spoilers. Okay, so the first thing is, was anything spoiled for us about it?
Oh, no. For me?
She lies.
What?
Something was spoiled. You read something on the internet.
Yeah. No, wait, what? Yes. When we were at episode 7, we stopped because that was yesterday, so we had to sleep. And then when we wake up this morning, no, episode 6 was last night. And then when we woke up this morning, we watched episode 7. And then episode 7 was a banger. So
good.
So I went on searching because episode 7 had the ending of episode 7 is very nice. So I had to search for that. And then
it's a good cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's a good cliffhanger. So I had to read to confirm my thoughts. So I was reading it, and they didn't warn me that it was a spoiler. So I was just kept on reading it, and I read one sentence only, and I was like, "Oop, this is a spoiler." So I stopped reading.
But it was too late.
But it was too late.
She knew. She immediately threw her phone down and went, "Oh no!"
Yes, I spoiled myself.
I spoiled myself.
But it was just, it was a good spoil too. But you know, you shouldn't spoil yourself.
So now that we can talk spoilers, was there anything about the show that you loved that kind of has spoiled, like a plot line you loved, or some aspect of the show that you loved that might be spoiling to talk about?
It's just a theory, actually. I don't think it's gonna spoil anyone.
Okay.
So like in the article I was reading, I didn't realize that it was a theory because it didn't happen in the episodes that we watched right now. It didn't happen in season 1. They said that Miss Casey, basically the wife of the protagonist, she is not, what's the title?
Severed.
She is not severed, is what they said. That's why in her interviews with her husband, she is just poker face. Mark, the protagonist.
Right.
So she was just poker face and like very sad. So that's what they said. So I thought that was a spoiler, but they didn't confirm it in season 1. So that was what was spoiled on me, and I didn't tell that to Giuseppe. But it was just a theory, I guess.
I think they kind of proved that spoiler wrong.
Yeah.
Because at one point, when Patricia Arquette's character is watching over them in the monitor with Milchek, she says, she's watching them, and Milchek says, "You know, it's good that they don't recognize each other. That means it worked."
Maybe Milchek didn't know.
No, he knows. Because he said it's good that they don't recognize each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you mean maybe he didn't know that she's not severed?
Yeah, that
okay,
she's
okay,
not
okay.
severed.
That could be the case.
Milkshake is not severed.
I really want to know where she went. That hallway that
Yeah.
John Turturro's character kept painting with his Audi. That hallway is somewhere, and it's important, and clearly that's where they sent his wife too. And it's a different looking hallway, but similar to the break room hallway.
Yeah.
You know, so I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
I tell you what I loved about it, and I mentioned this in the spoiler-free part. There's a plot line involving love between two gay characters. And I'm just going to use as minimal spoilers as possible, but this is spoilers. And I thought that they handled that really well. Like I said, it didn't feel overly woke or contrived or heavy-handed. It felt really, they stuck the landing on it.
It's like a low-key relationship.
Yeah, low key, and they explained it through very subtle things. Even the one time when Britt Lauer's character kisses Adam Scott, that also felt low key.
Yeah.
The whole development of their romance felt
it's just a good movie.
right.
Show.
It felt very much like Pam and Jim from The Office. Like it took it was a slow burn. You know, it took a while to come to fruition, and I really appreciated that. You know, that's the best part about these long form shows, is that you have so long to explore the characters. I think what I loved most was that by the end of it, yes, I wanted to understand the mysteries and the plot lines, but I felt very attached to the characters. I wanted to know every little thing about these characters.
Yeah.
You know? And I was rooting for all of them. All of them. All of them. My favorite character was Zach Cherry's character. He was kind of a nerdy guy in MDR.
Who?
The guy who, at the end, he holds the...
okay. It's Dylan.
Dylan, yeah. I liked his character a lot. He was my favorite. He was the most relatable, in my opinion.
I like Irving.
Yes. Great
I like
character.
Turturro's character. It's just his story and the ending in season 1 in his story, it's sad.
Yeah.
But it's like it makes me want to avenge for him, you know, like if I was the writer, like, oh, come on, do justice for him. It's a sad one, but please do justice for him in season 2.
I liked also that they showed that Irving's innie is obviously the same sexuality as his Audi.
Yeah.
But they're both kind of lonely.
Yeah. Oh.
Like his Audi isn't really exploring that side of himself, or at least they haven't shown us that he does.
They haven't, yeah.
But his innie, maybe because there's less constraints, you know, explored it. I just thought that was very cool.
Yeah.
I just thought that was very cool. I loved that. There was a depiction of suicide.
Oh, yeah.
An attempt at suicide in the show. And I understand that can upset some people, you know, but the best stories, I think, are often told about life and death. You know, the best stories, the most compelling stories usually have a oddly morbid twist to them.
Yeah.
So I personally enjoyed that. Was there anything you disliked about the show?
Let me think. What do I not like? I think, what's the boss name?
I don't know her character name, but Harmony.
Harmony. Codell.
Yeah.
What's the boss is, I think, the teacher in Midnight Mass could do
that role better.
That role as the boss in that show.
The teacher in Midnight Mass, you're talking about the girl who falls in love with the protagonist?
No, the nun teacher.
The nun. She would be a great boss.
Yes.
I agree.
I like her as a
We need to rewatch that.
Yeah, Midnight Mass.
And give a review of that.
Yes.
I can't think of anything I disliked.
That's all I can think, but it's not even a dislike, it's just a suggestion.
Okay. Are you hearing us, Ben Stiller?
No, don't.
Are you hearing us, Ben Stiller? My wife has a suggestion for you. Okay?
Yeah.
And you know, I said I loved Patricia Arquette in the role, but I'm gonna side with my wife, Ben,
Yeah.
and tell you.
There's just Patricia Arquette's eyes is just not. It's too kind to be evil.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I've never seen her in a role like this. It was really
See?
surprising to see her in this role.
That's what I'm saying.
And at first, it was almost distracting. Unlike seeing Christopher Walken, when he showed up, you might think that would be distracting because he's so famous
Yeah.
and so specific. That was more of like a Captain Kirk, but you get me. But I really thought that I liked her in the role.
Yeah, I mean, she's a great actress, but she's just, you can't think of her as an evil character for me, because she just have kind eyes. You know?
She did have kind eyes.
You
I
know?
like that they showed her in two sides of her. They let her be kind in that other.
Yeah.
And it was interesting that although she isn't severed, she's playing a character that's living a double life.
Yes. Interesting.
She's
I
not
like that.
She's not severed, but she's choosing to live a double life.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a life that even the company Lumen wasn't fully aware she was living, because once they were aware of it, they
they got surprised.
They got surprised by it. Well, thank you for watching. Don't forget to
like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
Thanks, y'all. See you next time.
Bye.